Hello, Sanmonani Dumelang. Welcome back to the channel. My name is Jacob Moshokoa and I'm driving another entry from the Chinese. And the reason why you want to know about this car, it's simply because they've brought out a whole new brand called the GWM Tank 300, and this one is the HEV spec.
Don't stall, install. From quick search to in-depth research, do it all on our updated app.
No matter how big or small your car is, you can still save $420 per month. Budget, the official insurer of good South Africans.
This is what you need to know about the Tank 300 HEV. It comes with a 2-liter turbocharged engine, which is merged with a hybrid motor that's in the boot. And you know what it does? It makes driving quite easy when you are starting the car, navigating through mall parkings, or you're pulling up at a filling station. It's actually quite soft. It fully uses the electric or the hybrid motor, which I really like. So 255 kilowatts and 648 Newton meters of torque. It does a 0 to 100 in about 6.8 seconds, but we're not testing that right now. We're testing how the car performs on the highway with city driving. It was pouring in the Western Cape. It was so nice to be navigating the wet roads and the potholes, if there were, with a car like this, because you don't feel like you're driving a lowered car. It doesn't feel like it's being affected at all by the bad road or the bad weather conditions. How does it perform when it comes to fuel consumption? I'm currently doing 12.8 liters per 100 kilometers. I have been driving modestly to try and get it down. It claims something like 8.6 liters per 100 Ks, but it's not coming down. It is a 2-liter turbocharged engine, so it does get very thirsty. And remember, the assistance of the hybrid motor or the electric motor only comes in when you are driving slowly. In terms of how I feel, I sit quite high, which I really like, especially when you're doing out-of-town driving or long-distance driving. You can see the road ahead quite well. Aircon is blowing perfect. Yes, see, man. I think all around this car does give me that urge to do a long trip. So now I'm in the driver's seat of the GWM Tank 300. And it's a very comfortable place to be. Lots of gizmos and buttons to get into, but it's very easy to navigate. One thing I do like is, of course, how I navigate the aircon with pure buttons. The vents, very reminiscent of another German car brand, but I like that they fit in with the aesthetic of the car. Taking you throughout the dashboard, there's a handle here. Also reminds me of another car brand, SUV brand. Up here, I like that the dashboard is like a leathery feel to it. It's not that cheap plastic kind of vibe to it. Here there is plastic, but with a nice color to it, so it contrasts beautifully. My favorite part is, of course, the one screen in front here, where my speedometer is versus where the infotainment system is. It's all one thing, but it's split up when you, of course, got your Apple CarPlay like I do have here. The Waze works beautifully. It's got a wireless car charger, pretty simple to use. We've got a USB and a USB-C port, and of course a 12-volt outlet here. And then, of course, when you get into gear, really like how this works. I love how you got this function when you're indicating, very nice for when you're driving. You can see what's on the paving or around the corner. I like that it can easily work with the steering wheel. That's all you can see though, but the door is open because there's a camera there looking at me, looking at you, looking at this function, which is really cool. When you go this side as well and you open the door, there's the door opening. And then I need to take you here to the steering wheel. Everything you can control on the steering wheel, including changing tracks, of course, checking your driving information, even answering and dropping phone calls. We've got pedal shifters as well. And then, of course, this is where you also do your hill descent control, the stability control, brightness of your lights, and then nice leather finish here. Even the stitching here is actually quite good in terms of finishing. I like it, man. Let me take you through the armrest as well. You've got 2 cup holders here. You lift this, it's got a bit of a floating tray, which covers there. Then here, this is really cool. lots of storage here, and it's cooled. Well, when your aircon is on, you can cool it. Then there's a little slot to sort of close it as well. So it doesn't always have to be cool, because yeah, you don't want a cold coffee sometimes. And a very long and comfortable armrest. This is the gear shifter. It reminds me of like, if you've seen the movie Predator, yeah, it gives me that vibe. It gives me like Transformers vibe as well. It's a very weird gear shifter. I think it should have been straightforward like it is on the likes of the Haval, but hey, I think they were trying to be very different, trying to fit the aesthetic of the car. You can of course control your heel descent here as well. This side you can obviously go to all-wheel drive, and with a turn of a button. On the other side, you've got a shifter that goes into a sport mode, it goes into an eco mode, and then you've got mud mode, sand mode, and snow mode. Okay, back to normal mode where I prefer it, and then press a button to put it in park, lift up the handbrake, switch off with a button. Oh, really cool touch here as well. I love where they incorporated the clock on the car, and it's the old school clock. It's not even a digital clock, even though you do have a digital clock here. There's one here, like in a watch, like, you know, like you can tell the time quite easily, and I like where that is. So yeah, really cool touch on the car there. And now for our usual boot scene, a full spare wheel here at the back. Obviously nice and locked, not very easy to get it out, so it won't get stolen. Reverse cameras of course there, handle to open up, and voila, I'm inside the boot of the GWM Tank 300. I think I can fit 3 of these. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 to be fair. Yeah, I think comfortably 5. Also on the back here, you get a charging point. In fact, I can do a 2-pin plug here, like some of the Toyotas. 12-volt outlet, a little boom box there, so good sound in the car. Maybe we should also just talk about inside here. That's where the battery is, and of course your jack and wheel spanner and triangle. So you don't really get a lot of space at the back in terms of depth, because of course you need to have the big battery there. Yeah, let's see how the 60-40 split works. Okay, so I gotta be here because you drop the seat where you're sitting and you've got your 60-40 split. So this is the seat. You sort of got to fold it forward, and then you got to get the back part of the seat this way, and then you've got easy access to the entire car. Very interesting.
The reality here is that, for instance, a VW Golf's boot space is 380 litres, and the boot size here is claimed at 400 litres. When you put the seats flat, you get a decent 1,600 litres. And we do like the way the seats fold completely flat. But with all seats in place, this SUV's competitors do offer substantially more load space.
So this is what you get if you buy yourself the GWM Tank 300 HEV. It comes with a 7-year, 200,000 kilometer warranty, and at the same time you also get roadside assistance, which is great, gives you a lot of peace of mind. It has a 75,000 kilometer 5-year service plan, and you can of course extend that to 8 years and 150,000 kilometer service plan, which also covers the battery as well. So there's a lot of peace of mind if you're buying a car like this. To get yourself one of these bad boys, it'll cost you 851,950 Rand. But the entry level of this car is 725,000 Rand. Now we need to do like for like, apples with apples, right? So one thing that you gotta mention is the direct competitor, which is of course the Toyota Fortuner, and even the Ford Everest, and I could even throw in the Isuzu MU-X, considering that there's more seating in the others versus this one. This is a 5-seater. The others are essentially 7-seaters. So the South African way of thinking is obviously to go for the tried and tested and liked car. And what is that? It's the Toyota Fortuner. And the problem with liking the Toyota Fortuner is you might recover your Toyota Fortuner at the Beitbridge border post or the Komatipoort border post, because cars like that are very popular in neighboring African countries. So, do you go the safe route and the unexpected route and the weird looking car route and buy yourself the GWM Tank 300 HEV, for instance? I think it's a good offering. And it's a good way to experiment with the new offering from the Chinese. So, talking about experiments, I need to put this car to the test. And I need to put it to the test where it really matters. I'm not a 4x4 aficionado, but I do a bit of off-road here and there. So we must see, will this thing do off-road the way a South African wants an off-roader to off-road? Let's see. So now, I finally reached my off-road track in Melkbosstrand. I've got the car in sand mode and I'm gonna try out the hill descent control. Let's see how it goes. Oh, there's the hill descent. Easy peasy, man. It's got the 265/60 18-inch Michelin tires. They may not be off-road tires, but they're pretty comfortable with navigating the 4x4 track in Melkbosstrand. I'm about to go onto my next obstacle. Hey, even the rain's coming down now. Hey, now it's serious here. Now it's serious off-roading here. Here we go. I'm gonna give it a bit of gas. Hill descent, catch me. Oh, there we go. I like that. You can actually hear it braking for me, holding on to the other side. Guys, this car's capable. Straight up, let's go, don't waste time. I put on the gas. Oh, it's so easy. Nice little uphill here, splishy splashy. And up we go, whoa. Finally got the tank stuck. Let me go back. Oh, back is easy for you, tank. I like that 360-degree camera. You see, it goes invisible even, and you can clear the chassis. This is so cool. Okay, I won't lie. This is fun, but there is a slight heart attack when you think you're getting it wrong. Next time I'm not doing this without an instructor. Please, guys, pay for an instructor as well, man. Ooh, that was very interesting. When you get the hang of it, it actually starts becoming quite fun. Oh, left looks challenging. Yo, now we got some real driving now. No, it can't do it anymore. I'm like sliding backwards in this car. Ooh. So, because of my lack of off-roading skills, I almost sunk the GWM Tank 300. You know that game we played as kids, Stuck in the Mud? I'm stuck in the mud. And we've had to call in the reinforcements. In fact, here are the reinforcements arriving right now.
Look guys, we'll put our hands up here and say we got the tank properly stuck. The reality is that any 4x4 would have gotten stuck in that mud from hell. No matter how good the 4x4, it would have had to be towed out. Accidents happen, and this was just human error. What is important though is that once the rear of the car was submerged in the watery hell mud, the electrics for the hybrid system shut the whole car down, and we had to wait until the car was dry before it would start again. The gearbox in this car is fly-by-wire, and with the electronics shut down, the car was stuck in park. So here's our advice. If you do want to do very hardcore off-roading, maybe don't go for the hybrid version. But to sum up this really interesting SUV in our market, this is a bold car. It has bold looks, a bold interior, and a very bold drivetrain. In fact, it's ahead of the curve. 4x4 and hybrids are unheard of, with the bakkie world only trialing them now. The pricing is very competitive indeed. It undercuts the segment leaders such as the Fortuner and Everest. But those do offer a bit more practicality, with 7 seats and more space to load things in the boot. But the Tank is miles ahead when it comes to the interior design, technology offering, and its on-road driving manners. It's a bit ironic, but a huge amount of work has gone into making the Tank a serious off-roader, with front and rear locking diffs and proper low range. But the Tank, the hybrid at least, works better on the road than off the road, which is where most SUVs get used anyway. And we've already seen them cruising in and out of schools across the country, which pretty much answers that question. Let us know what you think of the new Tank 300 in the comments below, and whether you would choose one over a Toyota Fortuner.
Cars.co.za. Not only is Cars.co.za the best place to find your dream car, but it's also the easiest place to sell your current car. Check out the sell car section on our main website. Simply list your car's details and all of our dealers will take bids on your car. You just choose the highest price. Boom, your car's gone. On to your next one. Right, thanks very much for watching the video. Okay, I think I'm done. Yeah, I'm finished now.
You deserve insurance that doesn't faff around. Budget, the official insurer of good South Africans.